pretty big Evolve show. The Evolve show tonight is Succession 2. And as we said, this is going to be a big show because we've got 2 championship matches on deck. I'm just having a look to see if I can find the actual breakdown, the actual preview. There it is. Well, here's one anyway. So if we just jump over, we can have a little look. And if we go over here, we can have a little look. So here it is. Evolve Succession 2, right? This should be really good. So we've got 2 championship matches. If you don't normally watch Evolve, this is the week to watch. Yeah, this is the week to tune in. So Kendal Gray, what a competitor. Champ, yeah, been champ for a while now, taking on PJ Vasa. If you don't know PJ Vasa, I believe she came through LFG. She's been in Evolve for a little bit. She is size, strength, monster, you know. She's got that Samoan kind of heritage. You could absolutely see her being the woman that goes into the MFTs. You could see her back in the day hanging out with the Bloodline. She's sort of, I don't know if she's got the height of Tamina, but I feel like she brings a lot more aggression than Tamina. Just strikes me as like a really nice person. The thing with Tamina is she always just seemed to be like a nice girl. So it was hard for her to be that monster because I just don't think she has that anger in her. PJ Vasa has got that anger in her. Her catchphrase is "come get your issue," which I wasn't keen on at first, but then I saw it on the shirt and I was like, oh, it actually looks quite good on the shirt. So I've warmed to it. But yes, we've got Kendal Gray against PJ Vasa. And this is going to be interesting because Kendal can wrestle rings around PJ Vasa, but PJ Vasa is going to have some serious strength and is no slouch in the ring. I mean, it's not like she's a bad wrestler or anything. But if this was just going to be pure wrestling ability, I'd expect Kendal to get the win. But with the size, the power, the strength, just the aura and the excitement around PJ Vasa, I think there's a chance here that we get a new champ. Plus, we've made it a street fight, which might actually swing it in PJ Vasa's favor because PJ Vasa, you know, PJ Vasa I don't think should be losing a street fight, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, if PJ Vasa can't win a street fight against Kendal Gray, then I think something's gone wrong because this is PJ Vasa's house. This is a street fight. Kendal doesn't need that Evolve Women's Championship anymore. Like, she's already been called up to NXT. So I think we could see a new champ here. We could see a new champ. And I do keep saying that because there are actually some really credible women around. I mean, we could have put the belt onto Callie Armstrong. We could put the belt on PJ Vasa. We could definitely put the belt on Carmen Petrovich. She's around at the moment. I wouldn't be shocked if Wendy Choo got an opportunity. And, you know, we could put the belt on Wendy Choo. So there is actually quite a few women around that are, you know, in the conversation. We could put the belt on Tyra May Steele. I'm very high on Tyra May Steele. So I really like the women's division in Evolve. I think it's very strong. And that's great news for NXT because it means if it calls up Sol Ruka, calls up JC, we've got a wave of women that are just waiting to step in, right? So I'm excited for that. I'm quite excited for this as well, to be honest. I'm probably not as excited, but I am still excited. And the reason why I'm probably not as excited is because I really like but the championship has made him stand out. I mean, he has been the champ since we first crowned a champ. We haven't had any other champ. So Jackson Drake, kind of the de facto leader of Vanity Project, which has been probably the biggest focus in Evolve's history, short history, has been Vanity Project. And this guy has been at the forefront. I think on the male side of things, if you was to say which male is the figurehead of Evolve, you'd probably say Jackson Drake, because he's part of the biggest group in Evolve history. He's been the one and only men's champion. So, I mean, I think they've positioned him front and center So he's the guy. He is the guy. So he's going to be defending his belt against Cappuccino Jones. Now, we've kind of done lots of different things with Cappuccino Jones. He was in a tag team with Jack Cartwheel called Adrenaline Drip, and they were so good. They were so good. I was so excited by them. But Jack Cartwheel has been over in AAA doing stuff over there. That meant that Cappuccino Jones got sucked into that kind of PC ID battle, which I was not crazy about. I don't think it brought the best out in anyone. It was just a way of getting them on TV. But I like Cappuccino Jones. He's very, very impressive in the ring. Could he be the next flag bearer? Do we get 2 new champs? Do we bring in a new era? I don't know. I don't feel like we've built Cappuccino Jones up that much. I feel like Cappuccino Jones is just there. And he's a great talent, and you can absolutely put the belt on him if you want to. I mean, I'd have no complaints, but I don't know. Have we built him up? Has this been like a heated rivalry that's been going for a... No, I wouldn't say it is. I wouldn't say that this is a heated rivalry that's been, back and forth and all this kind of stuff. So for me, I'm looking at this going, I don't know if Cappuccino's the guy they're going to go with. He could be. I'd have no problem if he was. But I don't know. Is this where we're going to get our first big title change? But does Jackson Drake need it? He's been called up to NXT now as well. So does he need it? So food for thought. I think I'm looking at the women as the title change. I'm maybe not looking at this. And then we've got our other match. So this is just a grudge match. This is Brooks Jensen against Harlem Lewis. I do find this a bit head-scratching because I don't really find myself rooting for either. I mean, I don't think Harlem Lewis is particularly a babyface or likable or, has been getting much kind of crowd affection. Certainly, Brooks Jensen has not been looking for that. I think what has been good has been Brooks Jensen is showing a lot more maturity now. I feel like he is not that kid that was in with Briggs. When we had the tag team with Fallon Henley, and, that was a couple of years ago now. But he kind of felt like the kid on the scene. Now he feels a bit more like a man. He feels like he's matured, and he kind of carries himself now a bit differently. And his presentation is a bit more, focused and a bit more aggressive. And there's something there. There's a little something there that's starting to show itself. He's got a big test, though. I mean, Harlem Lewis is not going to be any kind of pushover. They seem to really like this guy. They seem to be quite into this guy. So I'll be interested in this match to see if it lives up to their expectations. I don't really have an expectation for it. This has been a bit of a heated sort of rivalry, but a weird one. It's not one that I necessarily look at and find myself particularly rooting for either guy. I don't think either guy has made themselves to be particularly likable. So I think it's just a bit of a showcase thing, right? And so we've got that championship, and we've got that championship match. So 3 big matches, 2 of which are for titles. This is a special, by the way. If you're looking at this going, whoa, 2 title matches, it's because it is the second succession. So this is a special tonight. So yes, I'm looking forward to it. I think Evolve does an excellent job of kind of being a little bit of a hidden gem, because normally you get a banger, right? Normally there's a match that's kind of knocking on the great door, and obviously you get to see that next talent that's waiting to hit NXT. And, we've been enjoying Vanity Project for quite a while. We've been enjoying Kendal Gray for quite a while. Obviously, we know about Callie Armstrong, who hasn't quite hit NXT yet, but she's gonna make her splash when she does. Obviously, we've got PJ Vasa. There's excitement around PJ Vasa. We've been watching Sean Legacy. We've been watching Keanu Carver. All of those have made their way to NXT. So we are watching that next wave, right? And I've enjoyed it, yeah. I mean, it's been going for about a year now. And so far, we've had a couple of specials. It's been a few weeks that they've kind of had off. But it's been a couple of specials. This is going to be our second special. And it should be good. So that is the show tonight. That is what we're looking at. And as I said, I am genuinely looking forward to it. I think it should genuinely be a lot of fun. Right, let's get some. I don't know, what's this? Logan defends LA Knight's Elimination Chamber botch where he slipped. He said, that botch is not his fault. I was in the ring watching it go down live, and I can feel the ropes before I do the jumps, and they are so slippery, you have no idea. Logan said, the logos in the ring make the canvas slippy. I can believe that. We see that in MMA, actually. By the end of the night, the middle of that ring, it's getting slippery with those logos. I can't get full running speeds. I've got to be really careful with my feet and my placement because the logos that they have now in the middle of the ring, all I know, well, it was started by Prime, by the way. Yeah. I know that it was a thing because before Prime was there, we were going back and forth with WWE about whether or not it was even possible to paint it. They wanted to do stress tests and have people wrestle to see if it got oily. They determined that the paint they used was okay and that it wasn't going to be slippery. But now they've started to use color paint. I don't know what they're using now, but I'm telling you, it's slippery, says Logan. Well, Logan would certainly know slippery, wouldn't he? Because he's a slippery individual himself. But that's very interesting. Some comments there by Logan. Interesting. Logan talks about dropping Javon on his heads. He said, this dude flips all the time, but as soon as it's time to flip with me, he can't do it. Yeah, do you know, I still don't know whose fault that was, actually. I don't know whose fault that was. He's fine. They just put some ice on his neck. But he better do a better flip next time. And he better get going, says Logan. Logan continuing to endear himself to the wrestling fans. Right. Okay. We all know Daze can't get to everyone's questions. How about we give answers to questions he doesn't get to, said Shining Wizard. Feel free. Yes, I've said before. I'd love it if you guys were chatting amongst yourselves. I'll just jump in and get to things that I can get to. So, yes, welcome. Do it. Tyler said, Daze, I'm annoyed that Nigel McGuinness wasn't on that quiz. Tyler, I am as well. I'm going to try and put it to the back of my mind, though, to see if we can get through this stream. I am going to try and persevere. Aaron said, here's my thoughts on the Rhea Jade thing. Okay. I think if I was a wrestler, I wouldn't take things personally. I would tell Jade, let's make a great feud of this, like CM Punk should have done with Jack Perry. I think you're correct. I think where Rhea has got angry, I think is understandable, right? Because I think Rhea probably shares that same mentality that you have, which is let's not take things too personal, right? But I think if Jade is going to come out and sort of insinuate that Rhea runs to creative to get herself in championship matches and get herself winning rumbles and winning elimination chambers and, hey, I've got this idea, how about we put the belt on me? I mean, that's the kind of thing it insinuates, you know? She's like, I think the exact comment was something like, you talk too much, just like when you go run into creative. And the thing is that, you know, the word creative doesn't really have a place in kayfabe, does it? I mean, what's the creative department in kayfabe? I mean, the creative department is where we make the storylines. And so that comment is kind of taking it out of kayfabe, taking it out of the world of the wrestlers and putting it into the real world. And I think that's the point Rhea's making. Like, hang on, we're not actually building a match now. Now we're building towards a personal issue between you and me. So I don't know what you think you're doing. I don't know if you think you're just blurring the lines, but actually what you're basically saying to the fans is I go run into creative to try and get myself into better stories and better positions and more. And, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, this isn't about wrestling. It's about real life. So I can understand why Rhea reacted the way that she reacted. I can understand that. I think you are correct in, things that are to do with the characters shouldn't really cause problems. The only thing that I would say is if I was a wrestler and I had a character and someone was going off on my character, I would naturally want to defend my character, right? And so I'd want to find a way of kind of coming back. So it's very hard, isn't it? Unless the whole thing is scripted, there is a competitive element. Because if you're ad-libbing and they fire a shot at you and it's good, there is a pressure on you to fire a shot back and to match it. And so all of a sudden there is this competitive element that comes in, which is very interesting. Because all of a sudden, if you get into an online back and forth on social media, even as a character, and it's not scripted, it's just ad-libbed, like you are battling to hold your own, and even trying to get that kill shot so that people go, "Oh my God, did you see such and such just what?" So it's a very interesting conversation, actually. It's a very interesting conversation. We saw it fall apart last year with Tiffany and Charlotte. I believe that it was going that way. I don't think it will. I think I think WWE hopefully and talent relations hopefully are good enough to look at this situation and go, okay, we need to grab these. I mean, as soon as I saw that tweet in Unseen, I said, we need to grab these girls. I didn't know it was going to get worse with Piper and Chelsea getting involved. But straight away, it's like, yeah, the rhythm of this, the language of this, it doesn't feel right. So I think it's a very interesting conversation. Bottom line, Aaron, I agree with you. We just need calmer heads to prevail backstage. Maybe we need to put some boundaries in place. Perhaps we need to, make sure. Perhaps it's one of those where it's just not worth them booking it on social media. Or if they are going to do it, then let's plan it out in advance. She's going to say that. You say this in response. Or if you're comfortable with both just saying what you want to say, that's fine, but just don't make it personal. Don't take it away from character versus character, right? And if you do, we're going to have a problem. So make sure you're very careful about what you're tweeting, right? Lots of those kind of conversations can be had. But one thing that is positive is that I think it has definitely made that feud a lot more interesting. A lot of us now are very interested to see where this story goes. And actually, if you could script something that makes it seem like it's still got a bit of heat to it, that would probably be quite a good thing to do. It's just both girls are on board with it now, So I genuinely believe that first salvo was a shoot. I genuinely believe that what we saw was a slight overstepping of the mark and then Rhea's reaction to it. I don't know going forwards if what we're going to see now is a shoot or if now this is going to be a worked shoot, because I think you do still want that kind of believability. I think that you do still want it to feel like these two really don't like each other. So I don't know. Do you work a shoot now? I'm very, very confident we get the match at Mania. I don't think that this thing's going to fall apart. But yeah, I'm with you. I think it's very interesting. I'm not saying Rhea's wrong because people are different, but I love the hype personally, says Aaron. If Randy ties Ric Flair for world titles, I could picture Plaid coming out and congratulating him, says Davids. You could picture who coming out and congratulating him? Like what? Rick coming out? How many times have wrestlers lost their head and said things to each other? Well, I mean, it's hard to know, isn't it? Because some of that stuff never quite gets revealed. It's quite often where things get said. I mean, I would say it's very, very often things get said that ruffle feathers. But it's when it goes too far, So it's when it actually crosses that line and it starts to become like a real problem. I think that there's quite often I think when it comes to promos, I mean, I think back famously to Cena Rock. That's the one that comes into my mind. You know, do you remember when Cena went out and pointed out that The Rock had his promo written on his wrist? Yeah, The Rock just had a few notes on his wrist. And, you know, The Rock was kind of firing and he was doing really well. And Cena kind of came out and basically said, I don't need my promo written on my wrist in order to deliver it. That really hurt The Rock. That was a beautiful shot. That was a beautiful moment. And that was not scripted. I mean, it was, but it wasn't scripted for John to point out that key points were written on Rock's wrist. And you know that The Rock will have felt that. You know that The Rock will have... Because to be honest, they did not like each other. The Rock and John have said, and even now, I mean, they're great friends now, but back then they did not like each other. And I think there was a real bravado of, okay, you think you're the bee's knees when it comes to promos. You think you can step up to the great one. And so, you know, I think there was this kind of trying to outdo each other. So I think there was this real life kind of verbal battle that was going on. And that was very interesting. That was very interesting. That might have been the first time, actually, that I was aware of things actually crossing a line. That was the first time I was reading about things kind of crossing the line. That's probably around, what time were we looking at there? 2012-ish? 2012, 2013? I mean, I think social media, the rise of kind of the dirt sheets being active on social media, I think all of that starts to really play a role around that kind of that's kind of the first time I was aware of it, yeah? I mean, before that, I was not really active, as I said, in the IWC. But I was aware of stuff being said and about things crossing the line at that point. So it does happen, but I would say it's quite rare for then a wrestler. I mean, I'm trying to think if I can even think of another example of a wrestler coming out and making a statement like Rhea did. I mean, Rhea came out, didn't she, and was like, not having fun, not friends, don't call my actual real life character into question. And you're like, we've crossed the line, kids. We've crossed the line. Joe said, I've sent you the picture that I told you about on Facebook with my dad's office. Oh, okay. Joe, thank you. That might take a little bit of finding because I never go into my messages on Facebook, but I will go in there. I will have a look. I will make a note of it right now. Facebook messages. Facebook. That might take some finding. To be honest, I'm not even sure where I need to go for that. The way that I use Facebook is I've got it set up so that whenever I've got like a reaction or something, or a tweet, I can just put it into some software and it just sends it out to different platforms. So I don't ever really go onto Facebook like directly. I don't even think I'm logged in. So thank you. I will get to it. I know where my login info is, so I will get to it. Defcon said, I found out my friend Sean owns KWK wrestling figures. They make retro style figures. The company is making Hayabusa. He said he can get the prototype. Defcon, thank you. I'll have to have a look, see if I can find pictures. KWK wrestling. KWK wrestling. Has it got figures? KWK. Oh, there we go. KWK brand. KWK. Shelton Benjamin figures. I'll write that down. I'll have a look at it. KWK wrestling. Yeah, they are retro types, aren't they? For those that aren't, these are the ones that I've just seen appear. The legendary 1994 Rumble entrance. Tenru and all of those. Well, you can book talent as well. Well done. The first ever well done figures. Mancini. Tease. Ah, there we go. Berserker in blue. Flash Funk. Orient Express. Wow. They've got a lot of licenses, haven't they? That's the Bull Nakano. Look at that. Oh, God. That is nice, isn't it? Look, that is very good. Very nice. Okay, thank you. I'll have a little look at those. Let's get back. Daze, I've got King of Kings edition of 2K. King of Kings edition. What do you get with that? WWE 2K26. Monday Night War trailer. 2K26 King of Kings. What I don't know what you get with them. King of Kings edition. Oh, here we go. You get the Triple H playable character, Stephanie playable character. You get an Island emote. You get the Joe Hendry pack. So you get Joe Hendry, you get... you see, all this stuff is stuff I don't understand. 32,500 VC points. And another Island emote. You get a Joe Hendry t-shirt. Oh, my God. See, this is what winds me up. All this virtual currency and, you know, and... kind of download extra bits and oh my God. I'm from the time where you just used to get the game and everything was in the game and that was all you needed. And now it's like, blimey now. I think like I heard the most expensive one, £140 for the Monday Night War edition. What do you get in that? £140. In that, how many VC points do you get with that one? With that 32,500, the same. Oh no, and another 100,000, and you get different playable superstars. You get the Joe Hendry stuff. It's crazy, man. Even your King of whatever edition is like 90 odd pounds. It's just got out of control, hasn't it? I mean, listen, if you're gonna play it and you're gonna enjoy it and you're gonna get the money's worth out of it, fantastic. But every time I look into this thing, it just reminds me why it's just not for me right now. I just would not have the time to get the value out of it, you know. So, yes, congrats, buds, congrats. The shiz between Jade and Rhea is a social media thing. It's a work, says William. WWE still controls the wrestlers' social media outlets. Instagram is where you get the real beef. Well, I disagree. I believe that WWE wrestlers have access to their own social media. I don't believe the social media is controlled exclusively by head office. So, you know, this is why like Chelsea's putting stuff out, Drew's putting stuff out. I believe they have access to it. No doubt, head office can get access to it as well. But yeah, I believe the wrestlers have got access themselves. So I believe it to be legit, but if people out there believe it to be a work, that's, you know, absolutely fine. There's been people that have got in touch with me in the notifications saying they think it's all a work as well. So, I mean, the truth is, we don't know the truth, do we? The only thing we can say is that the dirt sheets are at the moment insinuating that it was all real and it was all a shoot. And they've kind of, we looked at that in the last Unseen. So... yeah, I know where I stand on it, but you lot will have to make your own minds up. The Titanic Explorers said my dream match is El Grande teaming together to take on Sin Cara. Yes. Do you know what? That's now my dream match as well. So, Titanic Explorers, shout out to you. Tony K said my dream match is the Riz against the Rizzler. I'd watch it, to be honest. I'd watch it. Nathan said, I got Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt with the original NES. I never had an original NES, but they are games that I am aware of. Alex said, I've got King of Kings edition as well. I regret not getting the Attitude Era edition. I'm going to have to spend, I don't know how much more, so that I can have 98 Kane. Monday Night Wars is 225 Canadian dollars. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't even know what that is in pounds, but it's a higher number. So 140 for UK pounds. So that probably translates to 225 Canadian dollars. Days, are we getting Danhausen debut match against Mr. Iguana at WrestleMania? I don't think so. I'm not expecting Danhausen to have a match at WrestleMania. I don't believe he's been brought in for that level. You know, it would be like R-Truth having a singles match at WrestleMania. Danhausen is a comedy character. I think he'll make an appearance at WrestleMania. I think, you know, that he'll be backstage, or he will do the reading of the attendance, or, you know, something along those lines. They'll find a way of, like, getting a use out of him. But I don't envisage that he's going to have a match. I could see him featuring in the Andre Battle Royal that normally goes down on the SmackDown. I could see him featuring in that. Days, we've got, you can get all the other editions plus the Monday Night War content. You get all the other editions plus Monday Night War content. In that most expensive one, yeah. It's crazy, though. £140 for a game, and then you still don't... I mean, does that just give you everything, then? Is there nothing in the game you ever have to pay for again? I mean, if that's where we are now... I mean, it used to be $49.99. and that was seen as expensive, you know. I remember games being like $29.99, $39.99, and if it was like a really expensive game, say like Grand Theft Auto, $49.99 or something like that, right? Now it's like £140, and I'm not even sure if you get absolutely everything that's in the game. I mean, I get the feeling that with the virtual currency, you probably could just keep giving it money, couldn't you? Does it ever run out? Do you ever get everything? I don't know. It's the way of the world, isn't it? TKO aren't the only money hungry company. There are other very money hungry companies out there. Danhausen wrote all his own shtick whenever he works. Do we think he's got that level of autonomy in WWE? Maybe. I mean, it would need to be checked. I mean, I think if WWE have signed him and they like him, and he says that he writes his own stuff, and part of the negotiation is I'd like to continue to do that, WWE I don't think would so much have a problem with that, right? It's just a case that they're going to have to tell him, we've got this segment for you. We want you to put a curse on Dominic. Can you flesh it out? I don't know how long he would have to find some. I don't know if he'd have to write it on the day, but at some point it's going to have to get signed off. The process is going to be very interesting if they have given him that freedom, because I don't know how far in advance they're working for his segments. So, you know, we want you to put a curse on Dominic. You flesh out, right, you know, give us a couple of minutes of content before, yeah? And then, of course, he did his kind of list thing. So the process would be difficult. For me, if I was Triple H, I would be scripting him with, and then I'd be showing him what's being scripted, and I'd have him tweak it. So that's how I would deal with him. I would script it. So I know that if there's a disaster of some description where he's running late, I know I've got content. I can't afford to just have a question mark around what is Danhausen going to do on this week's show. I don't know until he arrives, you know? There's too many plates spinning. There's too much stuff for me to have to worry about. I don't need to have to worry about that. So I would script it. When he arrives, if there's any issue, like he's late or whatever, He just does what's scripted, right? But when he arrives, I'd give him the segment and I'd say, tweak it however you want. Just get it signed off with the producer before it gets delivered. And I would trust in the producer. I mean, the producer would know that there's, I don't want anything that's going to get me in trouble with the network. I mean, these are the things you've got to worry about. Sometimes I think people think that it's just about give the wrestlers all the freedom in the world. The product will be better if the wrestlers have all the freedom in the world. First of all, I don't think that's true, because I think there's a lot of wrestlers that would struggle if you give them a lot of freedom. There's a lot of people that need a script, that need guidance. They're thinking about so many different things themselves. The last thing they need to think of is, coming up with all their own, content, their own promo, right? So a lot of talent, just give them the script and let them go out there and perform it, right? And a lot of talent want that, to be honest with you, in this day and age. There's a lot of talent, like, say, an Obafemi. I don't know that an Obafemi is demanding that he cuts his own promos, right? Or writes his own promos, I should say. He just wants to deliver the content that he gets given. He just wants to focus on the performance rather than actually constructing the promo. But the other thing you got as well is what about bad language? What about if something is suggested that should not be suggested? What about if it's just, as we said, not fit for the network that it's on, and the network have problems with it? What if it's too short? What if it's too long? What if it takes a story in a direction that you don't want it to go? What if it teases a problem with someone that you've got no intention of them having an issue with? There's so many variables. There's so much that could go wrong if you allow a talent to kind of script their own segment. I think it's a challenge, honestly, to give people that kind of freedom. So I think that when it comes to promos in the ring, where you've got someone like Punk, you've got someone like Roman, you might say to them, go out there, this is the time. But they're so experienced and you can trust them, and they know the expectation. They know what they can say. They know what they can't say. You can work with them. They'll have a producer, blah, 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 blah. I think with Danhausen, for some 2-minute comedy thing backstage, it's just not important. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? It's just a bit of fun. It's not like anything the show's going to hinge on. So I would script it, and I would give it to him, and I would say, tweak what you want to tweak. The general structure is there of what we're looking for, and you can see how long we want it to go for. You can see the kind of segment we're after. You can see we want you to kind of go after Dom in this segment, but you can put it into your own words. Just, make sure it gets signed off by the producer, and I'd probably structure it that way. So he's got a template, and he's got an idea, and he can rework it however he wants, but just get it signed off with the producer. And I'd just trust that the producer would make sure nothing aired that shouldn't air. But to be honest, if it did, it's my head in it. I mean, if something goes wrong with that segment and it airs and the network get upset, who's the network going to go to? They're going to come to me. It's my head. So this is why it's going to be difficult. So I think that would be really interesting to know exactly what they've done there and how they're going to do that, because I do agree having someone else kind of write for Danhausen might be a little bit tricky if Danhausen is, very used to, what his shtick is and knows his character better than anyone else. Then he's probably in the best position to write for himself. So I definitely want to give him that, but I think within boundaries. 2K, my faction mode frustrates players, said Steve, by giving hard challenges that you have to grind to unlock cards for better wrestlers and stats in the mode, so that you end up paying for more VC to buy cards. It's just a rip-off, said Steve. Okay, yeah, I kind of thought it would be something like that. I mean, clearly it's there by design to make money. So they're going to want you to use it and make money from you using it. So, I mean, look, what I would say is don't go crazy with it. I hope people aren't spending hundreds and hundreds on the game. You know, it should be that when you get the game, you can have as full an experience as possible. And so, yeah, I mean, people are excited for it. I hope it's going to be a good game. I hope people have fun with it. But just try and stay sensible. William said a lot of talent would enjoy creative control. I think someone like Nick Aldis could control SmackDown creative. He's the total package. He can run and book shows, says William. Rachel, hello. Do we feel the same little bit sad about WrestleMania being in Vegas twice? I wish it was in New Orleans. I don't think I mind, to be honest with you. It doesn't really make a difference to me where we are, because I'm in the UK, so, you know, it doesn't really matter if it's in Florida or New York or Vegas or New Orleans or LA. I suppose the only difference is if it's in LA, it might affect the time a touch. But I can't really say I feel a bit sad. So I can't really say that it's a problem. I mean, Vegas is, you know, it's kind of a spiritual home for WWE, in the sense of Vegas is a place that you travel to go to shows and go to casinos and have a fun weekend or whatever, you know. So going there and experiencing a Super Bowl or experiencing a WrestleMania actually feels quite right to me. That feels like kind of where I would expect WrestleMania to be. So obviously it's been there last year, and it's been there WrestleMania 9, which I've got a lot of affection for. It's the first WrestleMania that I watched. So I don't know. I can't really say that I feel anything. I think that it's a shame that New Orleans haven't got it, because they were meant to get it. And it was kind of, I think it was even announced for New Orleans. And then, of course, it got took away from them. So if you're in New Orleans, then I can understand the disappointment. And I hope that you get WrestleMania in the very near future. But in regards to that, to be honest with you, my focus is the card. And is the show going to be a better show than last year? I don't blame Las Vegas for the show last year being flat. You know, I don't blame Vegas for the main event that we ended up getting and Travis Scott coming down. Even before that, the card had not been blowing people's minds, you know. I don't blame Vegas for that. I just think it was a bad year. So hopefully this year is the year that we bounce back. This is the year that we deliver a solid show. And then we've got a real conversation, because we know in 2027 we go to Saudi. Now that is different. That is a different time zone, a different country. We know that Saudi is largely a lot of sizzle and not much steak. You know, you go to Saudi and you get like big names not doing a great deal. So, I mean, look at the Rumble. I mean, the Rumble underwhelmed, and that was a Saudi Rumble. And you kind of go, people didn't really enjoy the Rumble this year. I don't necessarily blame Saudi for that, but I don't know. If it was in America, would we have had more opportunity to have had some surprises? I mean, are we going to fly some of those, you know, like your Rob Van Dams, your Jeff Hardys? Are we going to fly them and put them up in a hotel all the way in Saudi just for a little moment? Maybe we would. I mean, we did it with Parker, didn't we, Parker? So, I don't know. Maybe we would. But, and we did it with Mr. Iguana. But, I don't know. For me, there was a real lack of big surprises. And would that have been better in America? I feel like the answer is yes. I feel like the distance being in Saudi probably did play a factor. And actually, we do have to go back to that original report at the end of 2025 that said there are no plans for any major surprises at the Rumble because of Saudi. And that was in Unseen. And I remember reading it thinking, oh, I hope that's not true. I mean, it's one of those where, unfortunately, sometimes reports come true that you don't want to be true. And that was reported at the end of 2025. But obviously, as we got closer, you start going, maybe they're going to, it is Saudi. There is Saudi money. Like, it has been a bit of an underwhelming 2025. This is a great opportunity to go, we're back. Yeah. Perhaps we get Saraya. Perhaps we get Jericho. Perhaps they've gone and got, I don't know, Evil, Takahashi. I don't know. I don't know who people wanted. I know they wanted Jericho. That clearly wasn't possible. But you kind of go, maybe, there's a chance. And then it turns out, nope. Brie Bella was the biggest surprise we had. Royce Keys was probably the biggest surprise we had. So I think Saudi's an issue, to be honest. I'm not sure about what WrestleMania is going to look like next year. That's why we need to enjoy this year, because I don't know what next year's is going to look like. Big Time said, Daze, it might be overkill, but I feel like we need another WWE weekly brand, because it feels like Raw is mainly a star power show. SmackDown is a show to highlight more upcoming talents. Okay, I'm down for another brand. Some of us have got things in our lives that prevent us from enjoying a night at a restaurant or a nightclub. Yes, true. Or even just a gathering. We might get some enjoyment in 2K and spend in the dollars, said Shining Wizard. Well, it is true. And as we said, I hope that people that get that game and spend the money in the game enjoy it, because you've earned that money. So I agree. Love said, I lost my dad and I did not appreciate CM Punk's comments. It was rude and it was cheap, says Love Cats. Okay, I can understand that. I can understand you feeling like that went too far. I mean, I think it was meant to really shock. So, as we've said, if you're going to shock people, you're going to get an honest reaction out of them. You're going to make them feel things. Some of those emotions are going to be, I don't like that. Some of those emotions are going to be, I can't believe he's done that. That's too far. That he's let himself down. Some of it is going to be, wow, didn't see that coming. Roman's going to have to fire back with something now, or this just got personal. Of course, WWE are going to want it to be that people weren't offended or were connecting their real life issues and challenges to, the comments that Punk made. And I have seen a few people saying it was a bit weird because it wasn't really that heated. Like, that was like a nuclear bomb of a comment at the very end of what felt like just little digs at each other. I think Punk really took offense to the retiring thing. I mean, Roman was basically saying, I'm going to retire you. I'm going to retire you. I'm going to send you to NXT. And I think Punk latched on that and went, you're going to retire me? You think you're going to retire me? I do agree, though, to one person saying, I'm going to retire you, to the other person saying, I'm going to bury you. I'm going to bury you so deep, blah, 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 yeah? I agree. The only thing I would say is that I do feel that the end of that promo needed something. I'm not saying it needed that, right? I'm not saying it had to be that. Of course not. But I think it needed something because it was the closing moments of Raw. And so it needed something that made you go, woof. It needed some sort of kill shot. It needed some sort of line that just ended things and made you go, wow, bang. And so they went with that. The way that I look at it, and this might not help you, but the way I look at it is that this is a TV show that has characters. This is dialogue between those characters. And you will have seen comments similar in TV dramas. I don't know what comments get made on things like Succession or Sopranos or The Wire or, these kinds of TV shows. Granted, this is a PG product. Some of those examples I've just given are not PG, but we did need a line that was going to carry a bit of weight to kind of end that promo exchange. again, I have to stress, I'm not saying it had to be that line, but that's the line they went with. So I can understand if you felt it was too heavy, and I can understand you going, I didn't like it. But I think that is why WWE did it, because they wanted to end it on a big, something that was going to grab attention, something that was going to shock. By doing that, you're always going to run the risk of offending. And I think there are people out there that kind of felt that same way. I don't know the breakdown, though. I mean, if we was to do a bit of a poll of, like, was you offended? Did it go too far? I don't know what the numbers would come out as. We did actually rate the promo after, though, because it was such a big moment. It did get a very high score. I think it got great 85. I seem to remember it just beating the IC title change. So I think, I don't have it to hand. I think it was great 85 that it got. Yeah, I don't have it to hand. But yeah, if we did a breakdown of it, it'd be interesting to see what people scored it. Wrestling Fig. Let's have a look. Go to the channel. Wrestling Figure Gods. Shout out to you, my friends. I have subscribed to your channel. Appreciate it. Firing in a Wrestling Daze gifted membership. Appreciate it, my friends. Right, we need to go over to Tubi. We're not starting it just yet. We will start watching it as soon as we hit the hour. Okay, so I think the video will be up in a second because it's obviously a pre-recorded show. So the video file should be up, but we won't watch it until we actually get to... Yeah, it's not up yet. We won't watch it for another 5... Oh, it is up. Oh, they're counting this as season 2. WWE Evolve kicks off its 2nd season. Wow, they've broke it into seasons. So the first season had 49 episodes. The 2nd season is starting tonight. There we go, season 2. I mean, last week was the season finale, but I didn't know they'd actually break it into a little drop-down box. That'll make it easier to find, wouldn't it? So there we go. In 5 minutes, we will start the video. It just gives people a chance that... are looking for it to get it set up. You got 5 minutes to go and find Tubi. You got 5 minutes to find the latest episodes, and we will be underway with that in 5 minutes' time. Football Talk said, Daze, I've got a line that Roman could use. He could say, the reason I got to take so much time off because I've got kids to raise. You wouldn't know anything about that. All you've got is a dead dog. I wouldn't do that. There's been a lot of people talking about the dog, and I just think that this thing is really descending into, like, who can outgross each other with, like, comments that are just to do with deceased family members or pets. And it's like, I also think as well, is it going to hit when you've had the internet, like, proposing that? I mean, I've had quite a few people propose that line. And I think if Roman says it now, I don't think that's very clever because a lot of people online have said it. A lot of people online have mentioned about that. So in my mind, you've had a week. I don't even know if they're doing a promo exchange next week. But in my mind, you've had a week to kind of think up a summit. And you're just going to go with a line that a lot of people online are kind of saying. Plus also, should Roman drag himself down to that level? Because I've got to tell you, that line, as you've seen, has divided opinion. That line has divided opinion. And there's some people saying that actually it's put a lot of sympathy onto Roman. It kind of, there's a lot of people that are like, nah, Punk went too far with that. Do you know what I mean? You build into a match, actually bringing in, like, deceased family members. There's no place for that. That's classless. That does not have any class to it. So I don't know that Roman wants to sink to that level. I think Roman can actually be above that. I think he can still come out with witty lines, but not have to descend to the gutter. So we spoke about that in Unseen. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go there. I don't think it's clever because it's being mentioned a lot online anyway. I think that you're going down and just sink into CM Punk's level when actually you should probably stay above that. And I actually think the wittier stuff is to, you know, kind of come up with stuff that doesn't kind of... You don't want to get into a race to the bottom. You don't want to start out trying to do each other with who can come out with the most gross thing. So at some point, someone's going to have to be the bigger man and, you know, not keep descending down further and further and further, you know. But that's the temptation, isn't it? Because that line was so impactful. It was so shocking that the temptation now is to outdo it and try and, you know, kind of go further. I will be very interested to see what they do with, but I got to be honest with you, if it is the Larry stuff, I will be disappointed. I will be disappointed because I don't think this should be like Misfits boxing, and I don't think this should be a who can come out with the most gross line. This shouldn't be a race to the bottom. So that's my feeling on that. We were talking about it in Unseen. Chris said, let's go Evolve. I've made it to season 2 now. Let's go. The wrestler that is from my hometown is Kiana James. She is from Sioux City. To be or not to be? That is the question. Well, let's go. We are about to get underway. So we have got a few seconds to go. I've got the file loaded up. I will tell you where I am in the video file. I always like to do that because I always get like little adverts, which kind of, here we go. Bang, I'm pressing play now. So we are underway with Evolve Succession 2. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. I am 26 seconds in. Oh, it's a long show, as you would expect. It is 59 minutes long tonight. Okay. I'm really looking forward to this. Okay, Evolve, Succession. Surely we get one title change tonight at least. I can't imagine both champs are going to leave with their championships. Okay, we've got Vanity Project. They're in their clubhouse. Who's got it better than us right now? So he says he's been champ for about a year now, which is probably true, isn't it? They're the first ID guys to be called up to NXT Swipe Right. Hondos! Okay, so Megan, they're going to check in with Megan and see if she wants to hang out. I kind of like this. I kind of like the fact they're making plans of, like, what should we do tonight? Hey, do you remember that hot girl you was with? Okay, the championship's going to stay. Here's Cappuccino. Okay, we're just hearing from Cappuccino. He's talking about Kendal. I know PJ Vasa is willing to do literally anything. Okay, that's going to be our next match, apparently. Harlem Lewis, Brooks Jensen. I did wonder if they were going to do one title match first, then do that as like the kind of break in the middle. But the graphic just said this match is next. Doubt has always been that shot of espresso for me, says Cappuccino. It always comes with a crash. People that underestimate me, it always comes with a crash. He's a great talent. I mean, they could put the belt on him. Welcome to Succession, says Cappuccino. Oh, have they changed the music? Or is this just Succession music? Yes, I think this might just be for Succession. Bum, 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 bum. Succession 2. Okay, we're 4 minutes, 40 odd, nearly 5 minutes into the show. We've had a little backstage thing with Vanity Projects. Then we've just had a little intro from Cappuccino Jones. Then we've had new intro music, which I think is probably just because it is Succession. And we are now going into our first match, which is going to be Harlem Lewis. He's going to be in action against Brooks Jensen. So Harlem Lewis making his way down to the ring. I think Trips is desperate for WrestleMania booking, and that's why Punk Roman promo was like it was, says Aubrey. I don't care if I'm 2 minutes behind. I'm not going to mess around, said Akeem. Well, I'm on 5:30, 5:31, 5:32, 5:33. That's where I am. Steve said, I can see both titles changing hands. They don't call it Succession for no reason. Okay. Brooks Jensen coming out. As I said, he's really matured, Brooks Jensen. Yeah, and that Alabama, Bama thing, it is getting over, you know. I could just hear someone in the crowd shouting it. Bam, 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 Bama. Alabama, bam, bam, Bama. He's a real throwback. I mean, all you see online is him watching tape of old matches, old school matches. Every time I'm online is like, here's today's history lesson, and he's just digging into like All Japan wrestling, and he's just watching like loads of different matches. He's building up quite a knowledge. He's a real wrestling historian. It's clever though, because I mean, you can see like all the different styles and watch the way that matches are structured, take different things. Might be little sequences that you like the look of. Big chop coming in there by Brooks Jensen. Goes into the corner. Chop coming in there by Harlem Lewis. I would say Evolve has been really good for Brooks Jensen. Forearm shot coming in. Brooks Jensen going over against the ropes over in the corner. Chop coming in there by Harlem Lewis. And a big sell, big reaction there by Brooks. Brooks with a shot coming into the midsection. As we said, these two, little bit of heat to this. Kick coming into the midsection. Harlem Lewis goes into the corner. Back elbow there by Harlem Lewis. Looking for a running bulldog. Going for the cover. Shoulder up. Harlem standing over Brooks, Kendal Gray, PJ Vasa. That's coming up next. Women's Street Fight is next. That means that the men are main eventing. So maybe Jackson and Cappuccino, maybe that could be our title change. I was looking at the women, but maybe we get both titles changing. There's a lot of places Evolve is YouTube, but not usually till the next day. Yeah, there will be some extra interest, I would imagine, in Evolve this week. What with it being such a big show, it does not air live internationally. Tends to be a video file that drops the next day. But use a VPN. I mean, I use a VPN and I go to Tubi. It's free. You just have to watch a couple of adverts. Big shoulder tackle there by Harlem Lewis. He goes for like a baseball slide. He gets caught in with that ring apron. Brooks Jensen unloading forearm shots. Jensen, I thought he was looking for a bit of a stomp there. Harlem Lewis drags Brooks Jensen down, throws in some forearm shots. Steve said Brooks is deceptively tall. He was made to seem smaller when he teamed with Josh Briggs. Josh Briggs has got a real height to him, hasn't he? He is very impressive. I agree. It did make him look smaller than he actually is. Michael, shout out to you. How do I watch it in Canada? I can't find it, says DB. I think it might be a case that it's Tubi. It might be a VPN job. Tubi is free, though. You just go to Tubi.com and then you can find Evolve. And it's free, but there are some ads. Okay, 2 count. Wrestling Figure God said on Monday, Danhausen called Adam Pearce Steve Austin. Then when he said Pearce, Danhausen said, oh, the glasses, you're undercover. Love it. He's great, said Wrestling Figure Gods. That segment did a lot, didn't it? For changing the perception. But as we said, I mean, I think the boos, they weren't really for Danhausen because a lot of people that were booing or were down online on him just didn't know him. The boos were, why was it not a better reveal? You've been teasing this, making a big deal out of this, and now you've brought out someone I don't know. But that segment was their first look at Danhausen. And I think it was a thumbs up response, wasn't it? Over goes clothesline by Brooks Jensen. Down goes Harlem Lewis. Down goes Brooks Jensen. Is the list a tease for Jericho, said Nathan. I don't think so. I don't really see why you would tease it in that promo. I think it was just I think it is just a phrase that I think probably just got dropped in, and then WWE won't worry about it, because if people see it as a tease for Jericho, then that's no problem, is it? If people were talking about was that Jericho and whatever, I mean, people talking is what's more important. But I don't think so, because I don't really see how it connects to this feuds. I don't see why Punk would tease it. Why would Punk put that in to tease Jericho coming in? Do we think Jericho's going to come in and work with Punk? I don't think so. It's different if a commentator was to say it, because a commentator is sort of teasing that Jericho's coming in, but why would Punk do it? Okay, I'm just having an advert, but we're back from that. We're 11:28, 11:29, 11:30. They're just showing what went down during the little break, but it was only a very short break. Kick coming in there by Brooks. Harlem Lewis down. Okay, right now we got Harlem Lewis coming in. Shot coming into the midsection. Another shot coming in as well. Forearm shot coming in. Round the back, nice shot coming into the lower back. Oh, big clothesline to the back of the head. Trying to turn him over to shoulder up. Shoulder up. Okay, so Brooks Jensen in control. He's trying to get a bit of a headlock in. A headlock applied at the moment. He's keeping Harlem Lewis down. I like how he's got that headlock in. He's really got it cinched in. He's like, Argh. Crowds are a bit muted. I mean, they're trying to get a bit of, a bit of energy going. Back elbow coming in there by Harlem. And again, he's keeping it in, trying to break out. Picks up Brooks. Nice. Brooks goes down. Harlem Lewis potentially finding a way into this. Brooks is over in the corner. Harlem Lewis going over against the ropes. Lewis with a big boot. Uppercut coming in. Oh, that's a lovely clothesline. Short arm clothesline. That's great. 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Brooks Jensen managing to get that shoulder up. Do you know, we saw a Brooks Jensen match not long ago on Evolve, and it felt a bit similar to this, where the start is fine, it's solid, there's no issues. It feels like they're having a real fight, you know? You really feel like you're watching two people have like a real fight, a real battle. The work looks good, but it's just not like really exciting. It's not like mind-blowing or anything like that. But then like the pace of it picks up and it really starts to grab you. And back elbow. I feel like I'm watching a similar match like that again, where action's fine, crowd aren't crazy about it, but I do feel like I'm watching two people really like chopping at each other. The selling is really good. The work, I honestly, I think this match is better than the crowd reaction to it. Lovely powerbomb. Kick out there by Harlem Lewis. Brooks Jensen has got Harlem Lewis up. Big knee. Going for a cover. 2. Kick out there by Harlem Lewis. Yeah, Brooks Jensen. Trying to get up. Kicks coming in. WWE are going to start their European tour on May 1st, says Edwards. I hate Tubi. They show commercials at like different time for different people, said King Yeti. That is frustrating. I can tell you I'm at 15:06, 15:07, 15:08. I would have a clock running in the corner, but the problem is that I go to commercials, and so even my clock, if I had it in the corner, would be out of sync. Okay, Harlem Lewis takes down Brooks Jensen, pulls on the arm. Jensen rolling over. 1, 2, no joy. Still working on the arm. Yeah, he's got the armbar in at the moment. Brooks Jensen trying to roll through. Trying to get up to his feet. Looking for a... No, went for a knee. Harlem moved. Forearm shot coming in. Another forearm coming back there by Brooks Jensen. Headbutt coming in. Uppercut there by Brooks Jensen. These two exchanging blows. Big chops. They're giving this match some time. Big forearm coming back there by Harlem Lewis. Brooks goes down. They've still got the crowds. Crowd is still applauding away. Harlem, big boot. Jensen looks over at Harlem. Harlem pops up. No, super kick. Who's getting the win here? I feel like it's going to be Brooks Jensen, but I'm not sure. Clothesline misses. Harlem with a big boot of his own. Off the ropes. Into a big, big lariat. He's got him up. He's got Brooks up. That's great. 1, 2, 3. And it's Harlem that gets it. Harlem puts Brooks away. I think that match is really solid. I really felt like I was just watching a battle between those two. Could you imagine if that was like a really heated feud and we were like really connected to the characters, and then they deliver a match like that where you're watching two people really putting in a fight? Brooks Jensen has really gone up in my estimation. I really feel like when I'm watching him, I'm watching someone that really understands the art of wrestling, really understands the history of wrestling, understands how to make this work look good. I think his work does look good. He's a bit different as well because you've got so many people flipping around and doing all cartwheels. There's so many gymnastics and flips in wrestling. You don't get that with Brooks Jensen. He's a little bit Gunther-esque, actually. Harlem Lewis has picked up the victory then. There's not one man back there that can beat me. Harlem Lewis says he is next in line. I think that match was solid, but I'm giving the credit to Brooks Jensen because that's a very similar match to what I've seen from him before. I don't know how much I learnt about Harlem Lewis there. It'll be very interesting to see Harlem Lewis against someone else. Here's Laney Luck. She loved wrestling. We haven't seen much of this woman. Oh. She was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. Okay. Right, guys, title time. This is going to be a big one. It's going to be Kendal Gray. And oh, do we love her work? Do we love her work? Kendal Gray might be mother. She might actually be mother. Yeah, I still don't quite know what this is, but we do it. Come get your issue. It's time for PJ Vasa. Oh, in Street Fight attire. Street Fight. We even got a bit of war paint on. PJ Vasa making her way out. Jensen is solid, said Shining Wizard. You do need performers like him. Brooks is the one that knows how to make the match work and make his opponents look good. I get that vibe as well. Chris said, Brooks is growing on me since Evolve. He could win the title now, but he'll probably lose. Well, he lost that match just, but I hope that the standard of his work is good enough where, but because it's always I love it when she does that. I hope that the standard of her... Is that Kelly Kincaid? How long ago was this recorded? You do worry when someone that was in NXT slips to Evolve. That's not a good sign for them, is it? You know, if you're NXT, you want to be used on NXT. So, you know, I think we can agree that Brooks has been sort of downgraded, if you will, to Evolve, right? I just hope the standard of his work means that they see it's worth keeping him around. I mean, you do worry. I mean, look at Baron Corbin when he slipped down to NXT. You know? Same with, like, Mustafa Ali. When people slip down to that level below, it's clearly not a good sign. But I think Brooks has put the work in, and I think that he's putting in some really good performances. And we're hoping for another good performance. Kendal Gray, PJ Vasa. Kinyedi said, Kendal, let's go. Okay, PJ Vasa, she's big, she's strong. Not interested, Kendal, in your ability. Yeah. There's one thing that can overcome your collegiate abilities, and that is raw power, aggression. getting punched in the face. Wow, look at that by PJ Vasa. She literally just grabbed Kendal by the hair, like picked her up off the floor. Kendal, though, looking for an armbar. Draping armbar. Kendal has got a draping armbar in. Shots coming in there by PJ Vasa. Kendal goes to the outsides. Kick coming in there by Kendal. Kendal looking to go underneath the ring. Table, I don't know that that's right. I don't feel like you've set this up enough. Nah, that was a mistake. If you're going to get a weapon early, get a kendo stick, something you can use straight away. I mean, what's your plan? You're going to spend time setting a table up. PJ Vasa goes into the ring post. That might buy Kendal some time. So now she might have some time to set the table up. Yeah, PJ Vasa just momentarily going into that ring post. We're struggling a little bit with the table, and PJ Vasa comes round, grabs Kendal, and no joy. Super kick. PJ Vasa by the table. On the shoulder, look at the power of Kendal. Let's not disrespect the power of Kendal. She just managed to get PJ Vasa up on her shoulders. Kendal with some big right hands. They look good. PJ Vasa moves Kendal. Oh, love that. That's great. She just grabbed Kendal, hurled her onto the edge of the ring. Kendal bounces back. She's like, poof, with her head. Into the ring steps goes Kendal. That looked good. That looked really good. I like that. Keep that. It might result in some concussion issues, but keep it. Okay, little advert for Backlash. Right now, we are at 24:20. 24:20 is where we are right now. Equation said Daze market down next Saturday. Raider Rays. AAA Dominic Mysterio defending his AAA title. No DQ match. Do we think the curse is still in effect? I don't know. I don't know how powerful the curse is. I think it'd be really fun if the curse does follow him to Mexico, and then Dominic's got to sort of plead to be uncursed. I mean, Dominic could still not believe it and just have a standard match. I mean, it could be that Dominic loses both belts and Judgment Day split. And he might find himself in a situation where he's got to plead with Danhausen to take the curse off. It's great. Love it. Kendal with a big overhand right again. Chop coming in there by Kendal. Going up. Bah! There's a sign in the crowd that says grey is the new green. I'm not quite sure what that means. Are we talking about Kendal Grey being money? Is that what it is? Bang. Chair shot to the back. That was great. Brutal. Another chair shot. And again. Couple of chair shots here by PJ. I mean, PJ Vasa is bad enough, but PJ Vasa with a chair. Walloping Kendal Grey. And again. Kendal screaming out. There's Tyra May Steele. Tyra May Steele watching the action. Big fan of Tyra May Steele. Glasses on as well for Tyra May Steele. I don't think we don't normally see her in glasses. Certainly doesn't wear them, of course, when she wrestles. I wonder if she wears contacts. She must do. Oh my God, how many chairs do you need, PJ Vasa? PJ Vasa has got all the chairs in the ring right now. Backlash at Tampa might be doable for me, said Akeem. Oh, have fun if you go. Steve said, who's going to win this? I think it's going to be PJ, said Steve. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'm genuinely not sure as to which way this is gonna play. Yeah, Kendal has took so many chair shots to the back. Kendal now is up, getting placed in the corner. I mean, there's a load of chairs, a pile of chairs, and I'm guessing PJ's looking for a superplex. So she's going to look to superplex Kendal Gray into that pile of chairs. Kendall's trying to fight back, though. Shot coming into the midsection. And again, another forearm shot. Kendal trying to fight back. PJ Vasa goes down. Still got that pile of chairs. Big boot. Drop kick. PJ Vasa goes into the chairs. Missile drop kick by Kendal Gray. PJ Vasa down. Kendal Gray grabbing one of those chairs, and it's time for revenge. Boom! Big chair shot there. And again by Kendal. Kendal finding a way back into this. Another chair shot. PJ Vasa again going down. I like the aggression of PJ Vasa. There was just a little bit there where it felt like she was getting into position for the chair shot. But Kendal looks like she is back. Kick coming in. Vasa to the outsides. Kendal on the edge of the ring. Kendal jumps over PJ Vasa. Stays on the feet. Into the table! Oh, that's great. That is great. I love it when they set stuff up and then we revisit it later in a match. I forgot the table was there. So that spear where she drives... Oh, okay, it's so good as well. She drives her into that table. Yeah, that's a big spear, man. That's a big moment in this match. PJ Vasa picking up. Kendal Gray, powerbomb. Down she goes. Going for the pin. 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up by Kendal. PJ Vasa battling on. Kendal did well to kick out of that. That spear into the table looks sick. Crowd are really into this as well. Applauding away. If you are just joining us, it's 29-14. That's where we are. 29-14. PJ Vasa wants to get the ring steps. I thought she was going to grab him and chuck him in then. I don't know what she's doing, but those ring steps are not light. Yeah, there's that missile drop kick. PJ Vasa going into... This was a lovely spot. Lovely spot. Got to be really careful with that as well, because there's railings behind that table. There was every chance that Kendal was going to clip her head off that railing. But time to perfection looked really good. Okay, ring steps are in the ring. So we've had ladders, we've had chairs. We haven't had kendos, which is kind of nice, actually. We have kendos all the time. It's not often we get ring steps in the ring, though. But we've got that right now. Kendal getting her face smashed into the ring steps. Kendal selling at the moment. PJ Vasa grabbing Kendal. Yeah, this feels like we're building some sort of big ending right now. Right now, we're on the steps. She's going to go for a power bomb. I've got a feeling Kendall's going to reverse. She does. Oh! Shades of grey on the steps. 2, and Kendal gets it. Shades of grey onto the steps. Kendal Gray has managed to get past PJ Vasa in a street fight. That is a surprise, to be honest. I thought there was a real opportunity for a new champion here. This is a hell of a run that Kendal Gray's having. She got that belt from Armstrong. She's managed to get past the likes of PJ Vasa, Carmen Petrovic. I mean, she's really beaten the whole division. She's cleaning this women's division out. To the point where, genuinely, I don't know who's going to step up. I don't know who steps up to her now. Okay. There's our answer. You're not a gold medalist. That was really good, but you don't have a gold medal. Tyra May Steele. Is that the person that's going to beat her? Is that the person that beats Kendal? Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it at some point. Maybe it is going to be Tyra May Steele. Listen, and you can't buy any stock in Tyra May Steele. I've already bought all the stock in Tyra May Steele. That was a good match. I enjoyed the opening match. I enjoyed the street fight. Are we going to see a new champion now? I feel surely one of them. Surely. Okay, big announcement next week. Town Hall major announcement next week. Tag belts. Do you reckon tag belts? What else could they announce? We're just having a look at some that went down backstage in the parking lot. Hendricks, Riggins. Is that Tate Wilder? Is that he was the guest ref, wasn't he? Okay, so Tate Wilder getting attacked. There's no reason for that. That's absolutely appalling, to be honest. Right, Jackson Drake taking on Cappuccino Jones. New champ? Are we going to get new champ? Daze, I agree. Kendal has to lose at some point, said Sean. Undertaker trains Steel, so maybe, said Spiller. Tyra May Steele coming for that title. Seems like she could be the one. Real Russ said that was a damn good match. Rob said PJ Vasa really into decorating the ring. There was lots of toys around, wasn't there? Lots of toys that were used in that one. Nelson said, I hope Dominic wins because if he loses, he leaves AAA forever. That's going to be a hell of a curse, isn't it? If not only does he lose his IC belt, lose his AAA belt, have the Judgment Day split up, but also he can't ever go back to... Don't cross Danhausen, yeah? That's the lesson, isn't it? It's not worth it. You lose too much. What is good, though, is the next time someone gets cursed by Danhausen, everyone's going to be like, oh, he's going to regret that. Like, the curses feel like they have an effect, and that's great. I like it. Okay, main event time. Cappuccino coming out. Akeem said the curse only works in the country that it's cast in, said Akeem. Okay. So Akeem is thinking that we're not going to have to worry about it. Look at all those cups. Cappuccino cups. I wonder if they handed those out to everyone. Well, that guy just got cappuccinos. I've said before, so many people want to go to WrestleMania. I want to go to Evolve. I want to be in that crowd. How exciting to see, you know, I mean, I think we all expect big things for Kendal. We all expect big things for Keanu. We all expect big things for Tyra May Steele. And we're seeing lots of stars that can really go on to achieve some big things. How exciting to say you was in that crowd. Here's Jackson J. Wrestle with Andy, hello. Speaking of curses, Kane once smashed a mirror on Raw and 7 years later won the world title. They should have Dom win the world title in 7 years exactly. Oh, that would be good. That would be good. Bum, 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 days. Oh, we read that one. Andy, I hope you're well. Steve said, are we going to get Danhausen versus Domhausen? It'd be pretty fun if someone was like, you're not the only one that can put on curses. I can do it as well. And then, like, Dom tries to do it and it just doesn't work. Hondos. So we've got Kelly Kincaid doing the ring announcing. This, I don't know when this was recorded. She's doing the announcing for this. Okay, Jackson Drake, Cappuccino Jones. We're 37-28 in. I can see that this means we've still got a good 20-odd minutes, you know. This match is going to get time. The venue's smaller, so you can see the action better, basically from anywhere in the building, says Rob. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be crazy, isn't it? And it's one of them as well, like, how much are tickets? I wouldn't be shocked if they were free. I wouldn't be shocked if they just said, come on down, we'll let so many of you in. You know? It's in our benefit to have people there, so it looks like it's got an energy. Okay, we are underway. Cappuccino trying to grab the leg there of Jackson Drake. And some nice mat wrestling to kind of kick things off. William said, Vanity Project looked like young Ric Flairs. Woo! Equation said, speaking of uploads, there's a Randy Orton marathon on WWE's YouTube channel tomorrow. That'll be good. Kick out. Oh, lovely. Kip up by Cappuccino. Headlock takeover by Jackson Drake. Head scissors. Keeping. Oh, nice. Shoulders are down too. Wow. I didn't think that one shoulder was down, but it did slip down. So she was right to count. She did well to see those shoulders being down. Kick out, though, by Jackson Drake. He goes back to the corner. Cappuccino. He's so skilled. He's got such a varied moveset. I mean, Jackson's not going to quite know what's coming at him or where it's going to come from. I mean, Cappuccino showing that he's very capable with some mat wrestling, but we know he's very good in the air as well. Jackson against the ropes over the other side. Cappuccino goes down and Jackson holds onto the rope, just walks over him, styling and profiling. This is Dr. Thirst against Cappuccino Jones. Is Cappuccino going to quench the thirst of Dr. Thirst? Okay, down goes Cappuccino with a big shot. Jackson Drake in control. Lovely suplex. That's nice. That was lovely. Right now, standing on the hand of Cappuccino. Stomping down, stomps on the arm. That was a really lovely suplex. Did Kendal win, said Rafi. Kendal did win. Steve said, Jackson Drake looks so much like my cousin Kane. It's crazy. David Finley's in AEW. Oh, has he popped up in AEW, has he? Okay. Well, at least we get an answer. We wondered where he was going to go. So at least we don't have to keep speculating on that. Maybe Dom will beg Danhausen to take Finn's place in JD to remake the curse, and then he can just curse all of Dom's opponents, says Steve. I don't know that Danhausen would want to work with Don. He might get invited, but he might turn it down. Over the top again. Drop kick, boom. Are there corporate oversight bodies in WWE? Do you mean like companies that run them? AEW have got Tony Khan, and there is a bit of a belief that Warner Brothers have got some shares, but I don't think it's a controlling share. There is there is like a TV network that might have some shares, significant amount of shares, like 20%, but they wouldn't have control. That's very much with Tony Khan. In regards to CMLL, I'm not sure. I don't know the setup for CMLL. WWE obviously have got TKO. Did he just pop up, said Sean? I didn't see him. Yeah, wrestling fan, where have you... Has that gone down? I know that AEW is live. I don't have it on. I don't watch it. We're at 42:31. We got 59:15 in total. So we're looking at about another 17 minutes right now. As we are at our main events. We were just at commercial break. We're back now as Cappuccino charges in with a back elbow. Jackson Drake goes down. Cappuccino going over to Jackson Drake, grabbing him. Middle of the ring. Looking for... Oh, I thought he was going for a swinging net breaker, but Jackson grabs him. Cappuccino goes over. Jackson's trying to reach out to the ropes and twisting on the neck. Twisting on the neck. Goes back over to the corner. Jackson Drake points out to the crowds. Jackson Drake very much in control of this right now, but this is our main event. It is for the Evolve Championship. Collides into... Cappuccino. So there's certainly enough time for Cappuccino to get back into this. Rafi said if Jake does retain, I hope Shiloh has got next. Well, I don't think Shiloh has appeared in Evolve, has he? Shiloh, I think, went LFG and just went straight to NXT, so I don't think we're going to see Shiloh. Right now, pulling back on the leg. He's got the knees in the back there of Cappuccino. Akeem said we only need 3 more likes and we're at 100. Oh, if you are watching and you've not left a like, leave a like. We don't really ever ask for those on Raw, SmackDown, NXT or Evolve, but yeah, be nice to tick a box, wouldn't it? Get to 100. Brother Man said Finlay did appear tonight. He attacked Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. Well, very good. At least we know that, as we said, that we don't need to keep speculating on that now. Kick to the back. Cappuccino is down. Nice roll as he's got... Swipe right, I believe, are watching from the VIP area. Kick, stomp coming in. Cappuccino, forearm shot. Jackson over against the ropes. Boot coming into the midsection. Looking for a net breaker. Gets it. 1, 2. Kick out there by Cappuccino. Did Skylar Ray get injured? Skylar Ray. I don't think she got injured. I haven't heard about her getting injured. I just don't think they've got anything for her. She was used at Christmas, wasn't she? It was Stax and Ariana in a match against Shiloh and Skylar. But I don't believe we've seen her since then. I mean, she might have popped up in a speed match. But not aware that she's injured. I think they're probably just focusing on what they need to focus on right now as we head towards Vengeance Day, kind of in that WrestleMania season. I'd imagine she'll pop up, do the odd little thing, but might just be a bit of a bad time. Shot to the midsection. Scoop up. That women's division is so stacked, isn't it? It's really hard. I mean, when you've got people like Ren Sinclair struggling to get a match, you know, she's popping up in speed matches. It just shows how good that women's division is. I think we could be losing JC Soul, you know, those kind of names. Lola could get called up. Jada could get called up. I mean, Kalani could get called up. I don't expect all of them to, but there's a real chunk of women there that can go up. I think Skylar will feature more when some of those do. Still lots of time left in this match. They said this is Jackson Drake's last appearance. Did they mean to say that? Oh, I didn't hear them say that. That's a bit of a shame if they've kind of given the game away. Nice suplex there by Jackson Drake. Cappuccino goes into the corner. Jackson Drake down. Cappuccino, down. So, Cappuccino down at the moment. Where's your NXT contract, says Jackson Drake. You're just a coffee drinking bum. I mean, that's got to be one of the worst things you can say to Cappuccino Jones. Calling him a coffee drinking bum. Unbelievable. Chop coming in there by Cappuccino. William's been enjoying some tacos. Nice. Nice. Forearm shots there by Cappuccino. These two exchanging blows back and forth at the moment. Boom. Yeah, big shots back and forth. Rafi said, I hope WWE call up Dante Chen. He's my countryman. Crowd love him. He's very over with the Evolve crowds. Another forearm shot. Knee to the midsection. Another big kick there by Jackson Drake. Leg sweep misses. Oh, Cappuccino with a splash to the lower back of Jackson Drake. So Jackson Drake is down. Ref just checking on both participants. Cappuccino Jones down. Jackson Drake down. So, yeah, both are down at the moment. We got Jackson going over to the one corner. Cappuccino over to the other. Here we go. Jackson going over. Cappuccino with a big boot. Time has really gone quite quick on this, you know. We're looking at the final 10 minutes of the show. Not only the match, but of the show. Cappuccino in the corner. Jackson with a big forearm. Over the other side goes Cappuccino, hard into the corner as Jackson charges him. Up to the outsides. Oof. Down goes Cappuccino. Jackson popping back in. Few boos from the crowds. Cappuccino on his feet. Jackson gets caught. Oh, goes into the ropes. Cappuccino. Oof. Back elbow there by Cappuccino. Jackson Drake is down. Cappuccino against the ropes. Over the other side. Suicide. Ooh, kind of lawn darted himself. Cappuccino going big there with that suicide dive. Man, he just went absolutely, he almost crashed and burned there. I mean, he did well to not knock himself silly. Cappuccino in the ring with a big clothesline. Jackson Drake goes down. There is a good chance we get a new champ in this match, you know. This is our second special. Kendal retained. Cappuccino looking good. German. Jackson down. 1, 2. Kick out. 2 count there. Cappuccino down. Jackson down. She's constantly checking on the wrestlers, isn't she? Constantly going over to both of them. I don't know what she's communicating there, but she was communicating stuff. Maybe just letting them know how much time there is left. Yeah, you could see her there, like, do that momentarily. There's obviously a lot of messages that come from the back to the referee. Cappuccino chance. Big knee there by Jackson Drake. Picking up Cappuccino on the shoulders. Burning hammer, no. No. Big boot into a lovely German bridge. 1, 2. Oh, God, that felt close. That felt close. Okay, Jackson Drake against the ropes. Over the other side. Big shot there by Cappuccino. Cappuccino goes over against the rope. Cappuccino going up top. Cappuccino is perched. Is he going to land it? Cappuccino does land it. Big elbow. The Froggy Brew elbow connects. 1, 2. Kick out. Kind of felt like, look at the reaction from Swipe Right. Kind of felt like he took a little bit too long to get the pin there. That connecting felt like a big moment, but he just couldn't capitalize on it. Jackson Drake down. Cappuccino standing over him. Get up, Cappuccino. Urging Jackson Drake to get up. He's going against the ropes. Springboards. Oh, into a cutter. Going. Oh, he roll into the outsides. He's on the outsides. Oh. I can't wait till Cappuccino Joe gets NXT. He can start selling coffee, says Nathan. We're on the edge of the ring right now. 52-50, so we've still got 7 minutes or so left in this. Chop coming in there by Cappuccino. These two exchanging blows. On the edge of the ring. Shots coming in to the back. Shot coming in to the midsection. Looking for a suplex. Cappuccino. Oh, hangs him out. Oh, that was lovely. Hangs him on that ropes and he spills to the outsides. I like the reactions from Swipe Right. They're really into it. Ricky Smokes at one point earlier was like biting onto that VIP rope. Back in the ring goes Cappuccino. Jackson on the outsides. Still feels like this thing can go either way. He's going up. He's looking. Big splash. 450 goes for the pin. 1, 2. Oh. 450. Look at the facial expression from Jackson Drake. He can't believe it. He can't believe it. Yeah, it's a real battle. We got a little bit of blood as well. It looks like he's got a bit of blood in his mouth. I read earlier that Rey Fenix has been hinting at a match with Penta for the IC title at WrestleMania 42. Wow, imagine that. Phoenix Penta for the IC belt. That would be pretty special. Big boot coming in there by Jackson Drake. Jackson Drake. He's on the outsides. Springboard. Ah, big shot. Big shot by Cappuccino. Jackson Drake launching himself. Cappuccino. He's going to look to put him away. Could we get a new champ? 2. Oh, it's just a 2. Oh, my God. That felt like the moment, to be honest. Look at the crowd. Is that woman crying? Kind of looked like that woman was crying. There might be tears in the Evolve arena. Right now, we've got Cappuccino trying to get back up to his feet. Jackson Drake is still down. That felt like a big moment, to be honest. That felt like a huge moment. I mean, he connected and capitalized. Like, he got the pin. There was no time wasted. Oh, Jackson against the ropes. Jackson against the ropes. I'm still looking at Cappuccino, you know. I still think he's got a chance here. Jackson Drake has got Cappuccino in the corner. Big club in blow. Jackson Drake has found a way back in. Shot coming into the back. Cappuccino up top. Jackson climbing up. Oh, headlock applied. Okay, this is interesting. Headlock is in. I don't know what he's going to look to do. Oh. He's got him on his shoulders here, Jackson Drake. Look at this in the corner. Look at that. Oh, drives him down. Cappuccino in big trouble. Cappuccino in big, big trouble. Jackson going over against the ropes, over the other sides, picking up speed. Unaliving, and that could be it, you know. No, reverse. No, down. 1, 2, 3. Jackson retains. No new champ. No new champs. Our second. It was a real battle, that, though. That was a real war. Swipe right are in there, jumping around, celebrating. Yeah, that girl can't believe it. Can't believe it. Dang, no new champs. I thought I was really confident. I don't mind it, though, because I was really confident we were going to get one. So the fact they've kind of swerved us in the sense of we haven't got one at all, not down on it. I said beforehand that if there was going to be a title change, I really thought it would be the women. But then when the men main evented, they had me second guessing it. But we've ended up with no new title change, no new champ. So big announcement coming next week. Bum, bum, bum. Well, they said, didn't you say they said that was his last match? Okay, Harlem Lewis is coming out. Harlem Lewis has come out. We saw him pick up a victory earlier. He's going to look to get in the ring. He's going after the champ. They all get out the ring. Here's Ricky. Oh, Ricky couldn't even do a sneak attack. Here's the numbers, though. Harlem Lewis getting beaten up. Here's swipe right. Ah, big boot there by Harlem Lewis. Back elbow by Harlem Lewis. Against the ropes to the outsides. Goes Jackson Drake. Ricky Smokes gets launched. He goes to the outside as well. So Harlem Lewis has just dealt with all of Vanity Projects. This is my show, he says. Is that the next Evolve champion? I think we are looking at the next challenger, but are we looking at the next champion? I just don't... I don't know what it is. I just don't feel anything for Harlem Lewis. I'm not down on him. I just don't feel like I know much about him. I mean, he had a good match earlier. It was a good match. But I don't know if unfairly I give the credit to Brooks Jensen. Well, there we go. I mean, I think we had 3 really enjoyable matches there. I think my favourite match might have been the women's match. Main event was still fun, though. Still a lot of action. Still a lot going on. No new champs. That's a talking point. Brooks Jensen losing. It's a bit of a talking point. PJ Vasa losing a street fight is a bit of a talking point. Cappuccino, I just don't think we'd built up. When you're looking around going, who's that next Evolve champ? I don't think we'd built Cappuccino up. The fact they put it in the main event and the fact that Jackson Drake hit so much good stuff on Cappuccino and he kept surviving. I must admit, during the match, I did think, are they going to pull the trigger on Cappuccino? Perhaps they just like him. Perhaps they see him as being very marketable because, to be honest, when we first heard the name Cappuccino Jones, you do go, oh, that's an interesting name. Think of all the stuff you can do. So I think he is very marketable. I mean, he's a good wrestler as well. So, and it seems like his tag team has finished with Jack Cartwheel. So, you know, there was a chance. But I just don't feel like... It's not like he's been beating loads of people and he's coming in with loads of momentum, you know? How much does that matter in Evolve? I don't know, you know? So, yeah, anyway, bottom line, we've ended up with no new champs and it looks like Harlem Lewis is next. Tyra May Steele next for Kendal. Do they get past them as well? I don't know. When are we going to get a new champ? When are we going to get a new champ? I like that Kendal Gray match, says William. I heard them say it earlier. It was his last appearance, unless it was just wrong, said Steve. No, I don't disbelieve you. I'm, in a way, glad that they didn't spoil it. I mean, if anything, kind of added to the fact Cappuccino might have got the win if it was to be his last appearance. So the fact that it, again, didn't kind of go the way that suggested, you go, okay, cool. Well, there we go. It is a pretty good night for Evolve, to be honest. And the other thing I really liked about tonight was the fact that they teased some sort of announcement for next week. So I don't know what that's going to be, but there's quite a few things about tonight I like. I like the fact this is a new season, like genuinely a new season. That makes me think that the whole WWE stuff is done, because that's probably season 1 stuff. So it makes me think that we're in a new place now. The announcement next week might be tag titles. I think there is a need for those. Equally, it might be the announcement of the new GM, because we know we need a new GM. And there are rumours of that person being Timothy Thatcher. Not crazy about that. I don't find Timothy Thatcher to be the most charismatic. His strength is that he is a mat wrestler, a really, really amazing catch-can wrestler. I don't know that his strength is being an entertaining GM. But to be honest, they might think, well, we've already got him under a contract. He's already doing coaching. He's already part of Evolve. He's already kind of in that role-ish. We saw him and Charlie Dempsey kind of having a bit of a back and forth. And we've seen Timothy Thatcher going up to the likes of Sean Legacy and offering some advice. So they might just be looking at it going, it just naturally fits into that role. So I would imagine it's one of those things next week. But it could be something else. Could be something exciting. I don't know. But yeah, I like the fact we're in a new season. I like the fact that we have got an announcement next week. Interesting, we didn't get a new champion, but we've got challengers lined up, so that's fine. And yeah, I thought it was really good. I thought it was a good week. Calvin said, I'm not feeling too well, but I'm glad that I tuned in, and I did enjoy this Evolve. Calvin, I hope you feel better soon, my friends. Shout out to you. Steve said, they said, will it be Jackson's last appearance? Right. They were just asking the question. Got you. Thanks, Steve, for letting us know. Calvin, good night, bud. As I said, I hope you're feeling better soon. And I think we're done. Yeah, I think we're done. So that was Evolve. We are going to be, obviously, around tomorrow with the Wrestling Escape Pod. Next time you'll see me on this channel streaming will be Friday. We'll be back for a big SmackDown. Don't forget, SmackDown this week. Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, rumours of and new. So we got that on Friday. And then, of course, on Saturday, as we know, NXT Vengeance Day. Very much looking forward to that. Good to have some wrestling back on Saturday. So, yeah, plenty on the way. Appreciate people joining and sharing their thoughts. And I will see you next time. Awesome. Have a good evening. Bye for now.